Hey, Professor, hope you don't mind the background noise. There's a bunch of kids running around and stuff here. But for the discussion of the research paper process, for the first one, what I learned is I did the research. First thing I learned, or one of the major things that I learned, was that there is much more of a connection between you and how often you consume short form media than you might realize. You don't really think about how it can reduce your attention span, or at least personally, I never really thought about how it can reduce attention span. It could, reduce your motivation and, some negative effects, but there's also positive effects to it too, like how you can join more niche communities and you can, there's much more of an outreach to it than there's really ever been. So it was very interesting to learn about how, those social dynamics can play into someone's life. Number two, what'd you learn? What'd you find most challenging in doing the research paper? The one thing I think I found most challenging was kind of just finding, good, reliable sources on this kind of information, since, short form media is a newer form of like digital media, like, content creation, and the, consumption of it is still more relatively new, since, I think Vine was the first one, and that was in the early 10s. So there isn't very there isn't much official studies on the behaviors and the connections between, short form media and your cognitive effects and social dynamics. That's still relatively new. It's a newer field, newer area of research. So just finding good sources and, finding sources that actually were about short form media, I think was a little bit more of a challenge. And then what did I find most rewarding? One of the things I definitely found most rewarding was just that, it felt cool to be able to research this kind of stuff about something that I personally am interested in, because this is something I use all the time. I am heavily on things like TikTok and, Twitter and, apps where short form media is everywhere. So it was definitely kind of rewarding to see, perspectives and, some of the feelings that I kind of had felt personally. you know, it's a real thing that has been researched. So it felt kind of cool knowing that, maybe it's not just me that kind of feels this way about certain things about short form media. There's research on it and there's proven data on some of these things. So I thought that was really cool. And as I explored the topic, did I change my views on anything? Yes, yeah, definitely. I would say would like to be more, aware of how often I use these apps like TikTok, and, trying not to be so consumed by it, trying not to, have it be on my phone all day using it. I would like to try to reduce my average time on these apps by a significant amount for sure. It feels like the past few months I've been using it, it's just been loops, and researching it into it like this has definitely kind of helped me realize like I gotta, pull it back just a little bit. So that was very cool. And let's see, do I have any suggestions to improve the assignment? No, I think this was a pretty cool assignment. This was great. I like that we were able to pick our own kind of topics. We were able to take it at our own pace. I don't think the requirements are really that like hard at all. I think this was a fair and it's a good assignment. So yeah, and I appreciate you for extending the date. It's very cool that we got a couple days. So I hope you get to enjoy the holidays, and I will hopefully see you around.